Four more. Governor Kemp officially launched his re-election campaign Saturday in central Georgia. Speaking to a crowd at the Georgia National Fairgrounds in Perry, Kemp says he is committed to fighting to make Georgia both safer and stronger. Kemp already releasing ads for the campaign, and with at least two other candidates also throwing in their name in the race for the Republican nomination, Kemp says he's ready for the fight.
This week, we should be celebrating baseball. Instead, Stacey Abrams and the liberal mob forced the All-Star game to move, despite the fact that we made it easier to vote and harder to cheat. They'll put their political agenda ahead of jobs, small business, even the truth. Here's my commitment. Secure, accessible, and fair elections will always remain the foundation of who we are as a state. And I'm not backing down from this fight.
Kemp won the 2018 Republican primary with the help of middle-class conservatives and an endorsement from then-President Donald Trump. Kemp went on to defeat Democrat Stacey Abrams in the general election. And joining me now is Chuck Todd, moderator of Meet the Press. Good morning, Chuck. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Madison.
All right, first I want to talk about Georgia politics. It seems like the nation's eyes have been on the Georgia election cycle. I don't anticipate that changes in the upcoming years, right? So yesterday, Georgia Republican Governor Brian Kemp launched his re-election bid officially, and today he's going to be joined by some RNC officials in Metro Atlanta. They're holding what they're calling an all-star Stop the Cancel Culture rally. So let's talk strategy. Do you think that playing up this cancel culture angle is going to be his strategy? And if Stacey Abrams enters this race as we anticipate, what's going to put him on top in this election?
Well, look, I see what the governor's trying to do here. He's really trying to, at the end of the day, elections are won or lost in Georgia in the Atlanta suburbs, pure and simple. What would this weekend have been? This was All-Star weekend, and we know there was going to be the All-Star festivities were going to be in Atlanta. But given what happened with the voting law and baseball decided to pull out, and I understand why baseball pulled out, because if they hadn't, there'd have been a lot of player-driven protests. You might have had managers decide not to come. I think it would have created more of a spectacle in baseball than baseball wanted to do. So they wanted to take the politics out of it, and they took it away. So I see what Governor Kemp's doing. He's trying to make the case to the suburban voters, hey, you may not like the Trumpist ways of the Republican Party, but do you like the overly woke ways of the Democratic Party, if you will? So it's trying to create an entree back into the suburbs a little bit that Republicans have struggled with. Again, I see what he's doing. I think it's an interesting political strategy for him, and it makes sense when you look at his path to potential victory for a re-election.
Absolutely. Let's switch gears here, though. Talk about Meet the Press later today. You're going to be talking about the end of the Afghanistan war. So as we come up on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, obviously, what do you think the biggest political risk is going to be for President Biden as he's working to bring our troops home?
Well, look, the risk is this. If there's an al-Qaeda or an Islamic State attack, terrorist attack on Americans, either somewhere in the region or, God forbid, again in this country, there's going to be a lot of people that say, well, hey, this was why we had a presence in Afghanistan, to keep the fight over there, to prevent it from coming over here. So that is the risk. It's sort of like any sort of terrorist activity post us getting out of Afghanistan. If it seems to be emanating from Afghanistan, it's certainly going to be something that's risk there. But, there's bipartisan support for President Biden's decision. In fact, he's pulling troops out later than what former President Trump wanted to do. He was ready to pull out troops even earlier than President Biden did. So, look, politically, this country was done with the war in Afghanistan. The question, though, the Taliban thinks in decades or even longer. We think in election cycles. Long term, this is the real risk. Will there be a renewed terrorist threat coming from Afghanistan when an American presence is no longer there? That's the risk we're running, and we're going to find out, but it may be decades before we do.
All right, Chuck, thanks so much for joining us again. Meet the Press airs today at 10 o'clock, right after Weekend Morning, right here on 11 Alive.